All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. We'll wait for some folks to come on and build an audience. There's no one on yet, Vivers, but there we go. We got some people now. Vivi is coming in specially prepared for this one. You're going to draw some pictures today? We're going to talk about being your own bank today? Talk about money, building wealth. You're going to show yourself? There's 6 people on. Who's on here? So if you're on, say hello. Hello.
Where are they?
Not right here. See the number 4 there?
Mm-hmm.
That means there's 4 people here, but we're expecting like 80 people. Remember last time we had almost 100 people. Now there's 5. What's going on, Christian? There we go. So we got Tracy, we got Brooklyn, we got Matt. Let's see who else. We got Cash Flows, we got Admirable Heart, we got Tori, we got Mike on here. So we got a bunch of people, Vivers. All right, folks. Well, since a bunch of you just kind of popped on, it kind of happens all at once. I love doing these little StreamYards from home. We do this down in the lounge, which we never really get to use this area. Just life is busy, right? You know, you always think of things that you really want, and then you get them and you barely use them. So that's where we're going live from. It's me and Vivi. Vivi is dressed up as Mr. Bean, right, Viv? How many of you watched Mr. Bean when you were a kid? There she is. She's got her tie on and everything. Check this out. We couldn't find like a brown. Remember, he always wore like a brown tweed suit coat. So we found this brown almost hoodie. I tied her a tie. So she's got her tie. She's got her glasses. What do y'all think? What's up, Christian? F-Cat's on here. S-Mac. We got Tony. We got Garmore. Trying to read them as they come up here. Awesome, right? All right. Well, you know, this funny thing about Mr. Bean and all of his, well, there's a cartoon that Vivi likes to watch, but we also watch some of the 1980s, I believe it was 1980s shows. And, you know, the funny thing is you totally understand what's going on in Mr. Bean, and he doesn't have to say a word, right? He kind of makes some funny noises like that. He makes some funny noises, but he never really talks. And, you know, funny thing is money has a language as well, but most people don't speak it, you know, and that's what I always like to say. I always like to say when we talk about money, we try to talk in a 5th grade level, but you know, I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about here tonight. I'm not sure how long we'll go live, but we'll kind of just keep going as you guys are on here. So I appreciate each and every single one of you for being on with us tonight. Vivi's got a whole bunch of stuff. She's got her teddy bear with us. So okay, Teddy's going to join us for the show. I'm going to put Teddy right over here because we want to make sure Teddy, gets his 2 cents. We got Vivi's got her art and all of her stuff in her. So she's got this. She's going to be pulling out her bag in a little bit. And you're going to be drawing for some people. Oh, so she's got paint. Okay, we've got the essential paints. We've got very important washable paints. Okay. You always want to spend that extra on the washable paint. It saves you a bunch. She's got her Bob Ross easel. Okay, so we're going to set that easel up. And, the essentials. You know, the essentials are, you always got the markers. Absolute essential to have the markers with it. So she's prepared, and she's also got a couple other things over here that we'll pull out in a little bit. But, you know, most of you that are watching this, sorry, I got a beanie on today. I went snowboarding and I'm still cold. It's like -6 up on the hill. Oh, also, and I know some of you always tell me, hey, why don't you wear a helmet? If you watch any of my Insta stuff, I don't, you know, back in my era as a pro snowboarder, we didn't really wear helmets. So I'm just not used to it. But I got to start wearing helmets because today in the woods, it was nice pow. I zigged when I should have zagged. I was actually riding switch through the woods. It was stupid. And I whacked a tree. And I was with my friend. And he saw it. He had to hike back up the hill because I hit the tree so hard with my thigh that it spun me, put my head going downhill. My board stuck between 2 trees and jammed in the snow. I couldn't even move. It was kind of comical because I'm just sitting there. And I'm trying to move to get my board off. Couldn't move at all. So I whacked a tree real good. I got to go to New York City tomorrow for some meetings tomorrow and the next day. And boy, walking through the airport it's kind of like a Charlie horse. Any of you ever got kicked by a horse or a cow? That's the only thing I can imagine, you know, that this would be like. I haven't looked at it to see if it's black and blue, but I'm sure it isn't. Some of you are just like, too much information. Let's get to the money teaching. But here's the thing. Most of you that are watching this, you're not irresponsible. Me going through the woods, switch, zigging when I should have zagged, hitting a tree, that was irresponsible. But you're not irresponsible. all of you are probably doing a lot of the right things. You know, most of the people that watch my stuff, most of you are savers, really good savers. You make good money. You know I got truck drivers on here. Big shout out to all my truck drivers. Shout out to all my vets and my current military. Thank you for your service. Let me just pause on that real quick. You know, when you walk through an airport, you know, it always surprises me when you see a military man or woman walking. Make a point to say thank you for your service. When you see one of the older gentlemen with the Vietnam hats on, make a point to say thank you for your service. I literally make a point so much that I kind of will walk, or sometimes it's kind of odd for them, because I'll like get up and I'll walk all the way across the airport just to go say thank you for your service. Or I'll see him walking and I'll turn around and I'll follow him and I'll just go tap on him. Hey, I just want to say thank you for your service. Like, you really have to do that. We have to make a better conscious effort to make sure we recognize those folks, and all of our truck drivers, our police officers, all the people trying to keep our families safe. I know we got some crazy shit going on in the country right now, but I'm not going to get into any of that. That's going to be saved for WTF. But like, all of the people that watch this, you're probably doing well. Okay. But unfortunately, doing well also comes with some setbacks, but they're setbacks that aren't really your fault. So let me talk a little bit about them. Some of them are like taxes. How many of you think taxes kind of sneak up and get you, right? I've gotten bit by the tax man before, for sure. You know, you do well one year, you get some extra bonuses, you put in some overtime, you know, you work those double shifts. And, you know, at the end of the year, you think all is good, you think they took enough money, and then also you get a big tax bill. And doesn't it always come at exactly the wrong time? True or true, right? When you get those tax bills, they always come when you get the big health insurance bill, when the big medical thing happened, when you got the cavity or you got the cracked tooth, right? And they give you the estimate. It's like $2,000, $2,400. Your property taxes come due on your house, right? It's always at the wrong time. But that ain't your fault. What else? Well, debt. Uh-oh. The one thing I will say about Vivi's getting in trouble by Larissa. She just knocked something over. Viv, come on. Get in here. All right, we got Teddy up here. All right, sorry, debt. You know, throughout life, we're kind of almost conned into borrowing money. Come on in here. I got to go let her in. She's got her card. This is another part of the surprise. Baby, did you knock stuff over there or no? Okay. Baby, did you buy that car using your own banking system?
It's
Mr. Bean's car? Oh, it kind of looks like Mr. Bean's car. So she just rolled in with her new car. So check her out. Sorry, we're all over the place, but that's how these things go. Vivi's in her new car. Mr. Bean all dressed up. Awesome, Viv. How many of you like Mr. Bean over here? All right, let's get back to this debt. We're kind of conned into borrowing money, right? Anywhere you go in today's world, you can finance it. It's everywhere. Hell, you can finance your freaking burger and fries. That's wild. But cars, like, you can finance cars to make it super easy to finance cars. What is this? This is, fire safety. Oh, we're gonna teach them fire safety today too? I thought we were just talking about money. Well, I guess teach them some fire safety and getting their budget set up on their calendars isn't such a bad thing. So we'll come back to the fire safety in a little bit. But everything. You want that new dirt bike. You want that new four-wheeler. You want that new car. You want that new refrigerator. Or your refrigerator goes, your stove goes, your oven goes. Mr. Bean's got 2 cars? Okay, don't go knocking anything else over. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Well, of credit cards. We live in almost a digital society. I know it's not, quote, unquote, a digital society, but it's basically a digital society. Wow, that was a close call. I have a picture right here. So you guys are getting the whole 9 yards. This is what happens when you do your lives from home. Got this beautiful picture that just fell. I thought we were going to hear a big shatter of the glass. Whew, that would have been bad. But, well, we rack up some debt. I've been severely in debt. I'm luckily on the other side of that, but it sucked. Felt trapped. Felt like it was a giant headwind. You ever hear of headwinds when you're flying a plane, right? When you get in the plane and the pilot tells you you're going to arrive late because of headwinds, right? So what that basically means, the plane wants to fly at 500 miles an hour, but there's a wind coming at 100 miles an hour. The plane isn't flying at 500, it's flying now at 400. But a tailwind's a really great thing. So we're going to talk about how to turn debts and your debts and expenses into your wealth. How to turn your debt and expenses into your wealth. The other thing too, inflation. You really have to understand the Serenity Prayer to understand.
I got a new call from the money bank.
All right, from the money bank, what kind of card you get? Did you buy a Bentley? Did you finance that yourself, didn't you? Yeah, you bought it with your own banking system? Show everybody your Bentley there. They can't see it. Look at that. She got herself a new purple Bentley. She got in a car, little accident. She's been learning how to drive in a Bentley. Yeah, lots of accidents. You can see all sorts of scrapes, all sorts of walls have taken her out on that one. Yeah. Am I telling her not to knock things over? She's 5. Are you kidding me? Like, you can tell her not to knock things over, and what do you think happens? More things get knocked over. I don't know what she's doing. She's bringing in cars. She's got all sorts of stuff. We'll get to what she's going to do in a second. I'm not going to leave her out, but I just want to keep going. Don't touch that. Hey. See, you just asked her to do it. Hey, no, don't touch that. Do not touch that. Good Lord, we've been putting all the Christmas stuff away, and it's all breakable, and she's out there pushing the bins. For crying out loud, why can't she just stay in here? Whew. Who was that? That was Christian just jinked me. All right, anyway, man. All right, so we talked about inflation. You know, government decides to print money. Government's spending money like drunken sailor, right? Doesn't matter what administration. They all spend money like they're drunken sailors. You know, who's really footing the bill? You and me, right? We already talked about the taxes, right? And how that erodes your wealth. We talked a little bit about debt and how that's a headwind to you building wealth because it just sneaks up on you. And all of a sudden you're just like, wait, where'd that come from? Holy crap. You know, sounded good when you bought it, but then all of a sudden when you're making those payments, it's like, damn, this sucks. Things change in your life, right? Some income streams stop, or you don't get as much overtime, or maybe you just get laid off, and you know the income slows down. Those debts become a real big deal. But you know, nothing. Mr. Bean has a pony. Okay, Viv, no more stuff right now. You got so much stuff in here to play with right now. We're not even going to have time to go over it all. So no more, please.
Look it.
I see the pony.
But that is the lives can't see it.
They can so. They're right here. They can see what Mr. Bean brought in. You got a pony, you got a Bentley, and you got Mr. Bean car. Little tykes. No more stuff. Please. No more stuff. I saw you out there pushing mommy's Christmas stuff. You cannot do that. Close the door. We're staying in here now.
Aww.
Yep. Sorry. No more stuff. You have all sorts of stuff here. I'm surrounded. It's going to take
one more thing.
One more. Don't you dare touch mommy's stuff. Yeah. You all remember when your kids were 5, right? Some of you have 5-year-olds, right? It doesn't matter what you tell them. They're going to do exactly the opposite of what you tell them to do. Is what it is. And it's always right when you're doing a live, isn't it? Don't knock things over. And then all of a sudden you hear a big crash. And it's right when you're mid-sentence on something really important in the live. All right. But we were talking about inflation. Government prints money. Treasury, I should say, prints money authorized by the Fed, monetary policy. Every time they print $1, it steals money from your current dollar. Your current dollar depletes in value so that a new dollar can be printed out of thin air. You do understand that, right? So when you see the cost of goods, not always, but in most cases, when you see goods and services go up, like let's use cars, for example. Cars, right? Before COVID, cars were one price. After COVID, after they printed 5.2, oh my God, I almost said million, trillion. It's hard to say that word. After they printed that, things just got more expensive. Or I pose this question to you. Did your dollars just buy less? It's kind of a weird thing, right? Did things get more expensive, or did your dollar just buy less? Vivi brought her safe in. You got your comment. Don't show them what your combination is. Okay, enter your combo. Nobody knows what her combination is. Look at this. She's been saving. How did you make all this money, Viv? How did you get all this money? How much did we count in here? Is it like almost $100?
It was 30.
No, it was more than $30. She has several.
100.
It's like 100. So she saves this money. What she does is in the summer, she goes to garage sales with grandma and with us. And she sells, what do you sell? You sell cookies and banana bread and brownies, right? And Pete, you only, whoop, it wants to close. You got to close it. And here you go. And the thing is when she sells that, people can only pay with cash. She's a cash only shop, right? But
Daddy,
most of the things are bought with.
Another money thing?
One more. Most of the things that we buy in today are not bought with cash. How many of you go out to dinner and pay cash? Any of you? Anyone pay cash for dinners? Any of you pay cash for anything anymore? We are already in a digital society. So when I hear people say, oh, what happens when the dollar's gone and we live in a digital society? We're there. Surprise. My daughter sells cookies and you need cash to buy cookies. So, outside of that, or maybe your kid in your neighborhood mows your lawn. I don't even think they do that anymore, but nonetheless, you don't pay much for cash, but the cash that you're receiving every year becomes worth less, which in the illusion, if you will, it's actually the cost of goods. The things that we buy seem to cost more money. It's why I always say, are your dollars worth more now or in the future? Of course, they're worth the most now, because in the future, things out of your control, completely out of your control, are going to change how much the dollar in your wallet buys. That's just always how it's been. Okay, there's a little bit of supply and demand into that and competition, but for the most part, when things go up in value like groceries, it's usually because your dollars are buying less. So that's another hidden thing, that stored effect, right? When you save money in a bank, when you take your money and you save it in a bank, and the bank is not paying you, the average inflation, just so you know, just peg inflation, is right around 3.4%. If you average it out over a long period of time, about 3.4%. So if the money in the bank is not, how many of you remember these? If the money in your bank account is not earning at least, let's call it 4%, we'll round up a little bit, you're losing to inflation every year. And don't forget, your bank account, the money you earn on your bank account, that high yield savings account you got, you have to pay tax on that. So are you really making 3 or 4% on your high yield savings? No. You're making 3 or 4% minus taxes. So you're probably netting actually somewhere around the 2% range. That's why tax-free growth is so vitally important. All I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to explain that all of you that are watching, you're not irresponsible when it comes to money. You might blame this on yourself. You might think you're irresponsible. Let me see that. You're gonna start rolling some coins? Oh man, how fun is this? Let me see this. So remember this? Remember when you used to roll coins? You'd take quarters and you would pop the quarters in. Me and my mom used to do this. This is like where the beginning of me learning about money was. Here you go. Why don't you keep putting quarters in there? Fill it up. But you got to make sure, you got to know how much $10 in quarters is. Stack them I used to stack them in fours. So take the quarters out and stack them in fours, and then just count 10 piles of fours. So let me show you. No, don't do it that way, because you'll never know what $10 is. Stop. Let me teach you something. So what I used to do, folks, is when you want to do with these, and you guys all have a different way, what you do is you just take the quarters and you put them in like little piles of four. So watch this. Let me show you. There's one. That's $1. So you need 10 that match that. So she's going to count her quarters, and then we're going to roll some quarters. Those quarters might be worth some money. I mean, pennies. I mean, pennies are worth more than a penny now because they stopped making them. And the very last thing I want to talk about, and this is something that most of you haven't really felt too much in the last decade, but it's volatility. Volatility is like bad timing. It's that silent killer that strikes always at the wrong time. It's that I think volatility and Murphy's Law, they're connected at the hip. I think they're dating, because doesn't it always happen when your portfolio drops, when the stock market goes down, when we enter a recession, when things happen, it's always at the exact wrong time. It's because Murphy's Law and volatility, well, they're dating. That's all there is to it. But like, think of all those things we just talked about. Let's just go over those again. Okay. We have 64 of you on. I think we'll get up to 80. Okay. Taxes. Those aren't your fault, right? The more you make, the more taxes you pay, all that kind of shit. But when people tell me, they're like, I'm not going to work overtime because everything I make, I got to pay back in taxes. You clearly don't understand mathematics, because taxes are a graded thing. So as you earn, like the lower dollars, and I don't know the rates, but those are taxed at a lower level. Then when you go over a threshold, the next level is taxed at a higher, and it just keeps going like that, right? So it's really an average of all of them that you pay. So when you work overtime, you don't pay 40% in taxes. It's an average, okay, based on it all. Now stack them all up, Viv. Well, you got a mess over here. Holy cow. Don't do this. You're going to, all this money, you're going to lose it. Where's all your quarter stacks?
Over here.
Okay, so here, I want you to do it on this, and I want you to make stacks of 4. Let me show you what that looks like. Did you see how I did that? 1, 2, 3. You know how to count 4. There you go. There's one stack. I need 10 stacks of just like that, okay? 10 of those. Why does that one seem like a different size? 10 of those. And then we can fill that. We can fill this. You need 10 of those to make one of those. No, that's fine. I don't know what this is. Let me see this. Oh. Can't even see this. Sorry, folks. Bear with me just 1 second. So it's like when I stop talking, people stop watching. A Liberty dollar. Check that out. This is worth $1. Okay, so keep that up there. That's not a quarter. Keep going. Keep stacking. 10 stacks. All right. So as we were talking, we talked about taxes, debt. We talked about inflation, and we talked about volatility. Viv, just listen to what I'm telling you to do. You're not listening. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make 10. Just leave that and leave that. That's $1. That's $2. You need 10 of those. So get more quarters out and keep stacking to that size. All right. But none of those things I just said mean you're doing anything wrong. All it means is that you don't have a system. Do you have a system to earn money without paying taxes on it? Put it over in the chat. Do you have a system to earn money and not pay taxes on your earnings? Some of you are going to say yes. Some of you are going to say no. But let's just go through this, because all I'm doing here is I'm just proving that most of us are good savers. We just lack a system. That's all we lack, is a system. That is all we do. Another one? No, that's a quarter. Okay, so when we don't have a system that allows our money to grow tax-free, well, then the government takes a piece of what we work hard for, and we're the ones that work hard for that money. That is our blood, sweat, and tears. That is the time we put in. And we can't get the time back. Time is the most valuable thing. Then also, time is another important thing that I should have brought up earlier. Time is something else that's counting against us. We can't make more of it. Every day that goes by is less time we have to build, to save, to get to the point where we want. But here's the difference. A lot of times, if you ask people, where they're at in the wealth game, or you ask them any question, how's retirement looking? Have you saved enough? They always say, I'm running out of time. I don't have enough time. I need more time. You're not going to get more time. You can't. You don't get more time. But you know what? There are two different types of people. There are people that look at it that is intentional. Viv, you're still not doing what I asked you to do. Holy smokes. 4, Viv. 1, 2, 3, 4. Piles of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make piles of 4 like that. 10 of them. There's 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take one out. There you go. There's 5. Okay. You need 5 more. So 5 more. All right. Yep. 5 more. Trying to keep her busy, and then we're gonna go to show and tell, I'm sure. But hey, real quick before we go any further, as we talk about systems.
Another Liberty one.
No, that's a quarter.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Got it? It's right there. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop your lucky coin. So when we talk about systems, and we talk about time, and we talk about all these things, I wanted to bring up one thing that we're doing is, you don't have a system to earn tax-free. Do you have a system that's going to keep pace or beat inflation guaranteed? Do you have a system that recaptures and recycles all of the money that you're giving away today? In other words, you don't have to work harder, longer, or take on any additional risk to make money. You just take back money that you're giving away. Take back money you're giving away to those debtors, because we talked about the debtors, right? Inflation, all you need to do is beat 3.4%. So let's just peg inflation. Let's just say 4%. I know it goes up and it goes down.
Liberty one.
Oh, it is. No, that's just a quarter. It looked like one, though. The back was different. Good eyes, Viv. Good eyes. And then the other thing I talked about is volatility. Do you have a volatility buffer? Do you have a system so that when the stock market goes down and you're retired and you're drawing an income, you don't have to draw from that declining balance on your stock portfolio or your 401k or retirement accounts? No, you need 10. That's only 6. No, that's actually 5. Keep going. You need 10. And there only should be 4 in each pile. 1, that's it. That's a nickel. Oh, you're cheating. It's a nickel. 1, 2, 3. Put that one on top. Nickels don't count. We'll do nickels later. So with that system, I want to help you build the system. Vivi, I'm talking for a second. I want to help you build. You're not done. You only have 5 and you need 10. So I want to help you build that system to grow your wealth tax-free. that system to keep pace with inflation, guaranteed. So you're not waking up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, my guaranteed account, my inflation pacing account is losing money. But I also want to make sure that you don't have to worry about volatility in the markets. When your 401k goes down, you can just sleep. You don't need to worry about it. If you're drawing income from your 401k, your retirement accounts, and all of a sudden you go into a recession, the portfolio is down 30%. That's all right. It's like stop. It's like a light switch. You flip the light switch and your income comes from another source, another bucket of money that doesn't change with the markets. It just keeps going up. That's a volatility buffer.
Daddy,
Do you have a system?
I'm done.
Viv, count. Time out. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen, you're only going to be able to do these lives with me if you're respectful, okay? I told you I needed 10 to fit this, and you only have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 10. You keep saying, you've said you're done like 4 times, but you're not done. You got to finish the game. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Say that, everybody. How you do one thing is how you do everything, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. It's something that's very critical that I want my daughter to understand and learn.
I don't have any quarters.
There's no more quarters in there? Oh, no. All right. Well, we can't fill this up, so we can't do that. So we're going to put these quarters back until we have enough quarters. Okay, so we don't have enough quarters to fill that. Let's put them all in there. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to put that dime in there. Okay, put the dime in there. This nickel in there. Close that and put all the bills back. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to show everybody some of your stuff, okay? So we're doing a training, okay? We're doing a blueprint training. I know you're all like, oh, here comes the pitch. I'm not going to make you a pitch. I'm just going to tell you, if you don't have a system and you want a system, why don't we teach you how to do it? We'll show you how to do it. We'll set the system up for you. Because that's what we're calling this, is the blueprint. We will build your blueprint system. So it's a 3-day event. Okay, we haven't done these 3-day events in a very, very long period of time. It's January 30th to February 1st. So you're not going to hear about this too much in the public. But there it is, right in the chat. I just put the event there. Okay, January 30th to February 1st. Every day, there's 2 types of tickets. You can do general admission, $47. Okay, you get a workbook that's emailed to you, and you can do VIP. If you're VIP, it's $97, but we're doing 2 additional trainings for you. Friday and Saturday night, we're going to do an additional 1-hour training, another system that the general admission will not hear about. That's $97 for that one. Not only that, you will get a workbook mailed to you. So you'll get a tangible physical workbook. Hopefully there's enough time to get those to you via mail. We're running out of time with that. But that's what you need to do. Because again, I didn't say any of you are irresponsible with money. I just said you don't have the proper system to keep pace. To keep pace with all the things that are going to steal your wealth, whether you like it or not. Volatility, taxes, inflation, all those things steal your wealth while you're sleeping. And you can't do anything about it. Serenity prayer. But you can build a system that avoids them. You can build a system that makes your money grow around these issues. So you can do no more taxes, no more. Oh, put that in the top. It's another quarter. No more taxes. Your money can grow tax-free. It doesn't have to be in a Roth IRA with all those rules, because a lot of you are like, oh, Roth IRA is tax-free, but I make too much money. I can't put money in a Roth. Great. There's backdoor Roths, but there's also your own private banking system where you can grow your money in a tax-free environment called specially designed whole life insurance. Okay. Life insurance grows tax-free. You may not have known that, but life insurance is boring. But added to a system called the infinite banking concept, your private banking system, it becomes really, really sexy. Okay. Not so much the policy. The policy is going to grow, but the policy is going to give you the ability for your money to earn while your money works. It makes money twice. Every single dollar that you have, every dollar you have works for you twice. It works for you in the policy, earning uninterrupted compound interest, and it works for you out there doing whatever you're investing in, or paying debt off or everything else. Here's a bunch of coins, Viv. Don't forget those coins. So these are really important systems. And without these systems, you're just going to have to work harder. You're going to have to take on more risk. You're going to have to get lucky. I don't believe in luck, but maybe some of you do. You're going to have to get lucky. You're going to have to really, really navigate volatility. You're going to have to make sure that when, what the heck happened? Oh, great. It really is stuck there. I don't know. Okay, what'd you put in there? Keep putting dollars in. I don't know what to tell you. It is definitely stuck. But Viv, every time you come to me with this, we can't talk to these people and people leave. Now we're down to 58. We had 65. Now we're down to 58. And I want to make sure there's enough people to see all your stuff because you got these cool cars here. You got your art that you want to do, but you're getting distracted. Bringing your bank in here, rolling coins. It's okay. Yes. Will it be recorded? That's a great question. So it is recorded. Anyone that has the VIP tickets, $97 tickets, you will be getting the recordings. The general admission does not. But we then will sell the recordings of the event after. But I think we'll sell them for like $50, $49. That's usually pretty much what we sell them for. So I just put it in there. You just go to beyourownbank.com/BYOB-Blueprint. Just copy and paste it right there in the chat. All right, Viv, what do you got going on here? All right, so that's the blueprint training. I didn't want to make this whole thing about that. I gave you some really important things to think about. Ask yourself those questions. Ask your family members these questions. Do you have a system for your money to go tax-free? Do you have a system for your money to grow at a guaranteed rate that paces inflation? Do you have a system that fends off volatility on your portfolios, especially income? You see, the stock market is super. Yeah, please grab. Where's your books? The stock market is a really good way to accumulate wealth, but it's a great way to add stress to your life, and it's a great way to lose money too. But it is pretty efficient with growing wealth. But you know what it's not efficient at? Providing an income. But you know what is really efficient at providing an income stream for you? You want to know what it is? There's all sorts of things. I mean, you could say real estate, but one thing that's really good about growing an income for you is a system. A system. That is what will grow an income for you. So many people spend most of their working life, okay? Here you go, sit down. Okay. Now you draw them a picture. Okay. Most of their working life saving for retirement. They start drawing an income in their retirement. Sometimes they get it right. Sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they need more. Sometimes they don't need more. But the one thing that always gets people is volatility. When the market goes down and they're taking income, you're going to learn this thing called the drawdown effect. And the drawdown effect is not going to be fun. Okay. What it's going to do is draw down your 401k and make it so that your 401k has to earn double in some cases. Double what it was earning before. In 2008, a lot of people were blindsided. In every recession this happens. It's just been a long time since we had a recession. A lot of people, they'll lose 20 or 30% in their 401k. They'll watch the news every single day. Honey, look, the markets are up 20%. We must have made all of our money back. They look at their account and they're like, nope, they're still down another 20%. Why? How is that even possible? They lost 20%. The market's back up 20%. How are they still down? The drawdown effect. There's 20% less money working for them. They have 20% less money invested because the market stole that money from them. Didn't steal, but the market wiped that money out.
And then yellow.
So therefore, find yellow then. Give me this. Okay, I'm not your butler here, okay? You got to find these things yourself. So when they're working with 20% less money, clearly the reduced amount has to earn more to get back to where it was. It's just mathematics, but they call it the drawdown effect. You don't want to play with the drawdown effect. Maybe you didn't bring yellow, Viv. I don't know what to tell you. Did you not bring yellow?
I did bring yellow.
If you're being rude to the audience here because they're all trying to listen and you're having me search for colors that you should have been prepared. We're talking about these folks getting prepared. We're talking about them building their financial system. Okay? It was your job to build your paint system so that when you came down here, you could draw and paint pictures, but now you're missing a color. So you failed to prepare, but that's okay. Keep drawing. You have other colors. All right. So let's see I want to hit some of these comments over here because money touches every single part of our life. It touches our decisions, our relationships, our legacy. It touches everything. But I want you to think about this. I don't want you to think that you're late. Okay. I know a lot of you do. I don't want you to think that you're late. I don't want you to think that you're too old. I don't want you to think that there's not enough time because there's always enough time. I want you to think about it like my daughter here. Okay. I was a late dad. Okay. I was an older dad. I started late. I had so much stuff going on when I was younger. Time just flew by. I didn't even think I wanted kids. And then all of a sudden, when I got into my 40s, Okay, so I was actually, you're 5 now, so Daddy is now 48. So I was 43 when I had her. Now, by most accounts, by what a lot of people would say is I started late, right? But I would say I didn't start late. I started with intention.
Yellow. Don't see the sky.
Okay, you're going to go get yellow?
Yeah.
Okay, go get yellow.
Did the folks see it?
Nope, you didn't show it to them yet. You guys didn't see that, did you? You didn't see what she just drew you? No. All right, go get yellow. They didn't see it. I was intentional. I started late by design, intentionally. I wanted to get a foundation set. I wanted to be financially in a point where I didn't have to struggle. I grew up when my mom and my dad struggled, and I didn't want Vivi to have to struggle. So mine was intentional. So I want you to think about your wealth building, about your financial life, about your retirement income, and I want you to think about it as intentional. It's part of the plan. You designed it this way. You are being intentional about starting late because you didn't want to make all the mistakes by rushing in and starting early. You wanted to get it all figured out. You wanted to have the right system so that you didn't have to work as hard as everybody else, so you could enjoy life. Your money would work for you while you went out there and intentionally, by design, built your financial goals intentionally because you built systems that allowed your money to grow tax-free, systems that allowed your money to keep pace, a portion of your money, to pace inflation without any risk, systems that allowed you to turn debts and expenses into wealth by recycling and recapturing money you're giving away today, not new dollars you got to go work harder for, the existing dollars that are just being sent to the wrong place. We're going to bring that money back. We're going to recapture that money. There it is. You got green in there. Okay. I want you to think on how all of this is intentional. By design. You planned it this way. Some of you are like, oh, no, I was, no. Stop. How you do one thing, let me repeat that. How you say one thing is how you say everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you say you're late, then, well, by golly, your mind doesn't know any different. Then you're late. But if you say, this is part of my plan, I wanted to build the systems. I didn't want to have to work as hard as all those fools. I pity the fool, right? Pity the fool, Mr. T. I wanted to make sure that I had my systems in place that allowed my money to work at a higher velocity, tax-free. I didn't want to lose to inflation, so I just built systems that allowed my money to grow in a manner that paced inflation. I built systems that allowed my money to grow so that when I was going to take income from it, I didn't have to worry about volatility. My money could continue to grow uninterrupted, and if something happened, I had a light switch, and I flipped it, and my money was coming out of a different account so my money could recover. Because doesn't the market almost always seem to go up over a long period of time? It does. So in those downtimes, in those volatility periods, all we need to do is just shut off income coming out of that for that period, close our eyes, and start living off of another bucket of money, a volatility buffer. See, this is all by design. These are all systems. So you notice tonight, I didn't want to spend the entire night talking about infinite banking like I did last time. Oh, that is cool. Do you want to show them? I wanted to show you by design. You see that truck that Vivi just drew you? Vivi, tell them about your truck. I wanted you to have a vehicle like this, a system, a place where your money right here, that's their money, right? In the back of the thing, can just be driven around, okay? There's a chauffeur driving this truck because you built it by design. This is your system right here. Vivi, that is a beautiful, beautiful drawing. Absolutely beautiful drawing. Okay, draw another one, and I'm going to answer some questions here. All right, let's see. We got a lot of questions. I got to get my glasses on. See, as you get older, I'm 48 years old, and I'm still in the woods hitting trees when I snowboard. That's, if some of you might have missed that earlier. All right, let's see. VIP tickets, get the replays, a workbook, and a really awesome book that she mailed. Tony, what's going on, Tony? Can you get the workbook if you get the recording after the fact? I think, yeah, usually when we sell the recordings after the fact, you'll usually get the workbook as well, but I don't know. That's up to Shauna. Christian, let's see. Shauna, I need to email you my address. All right. So some of you are asking for the link again. There it is. All right. So I just posted that link up there again. All right. Let's see what else we got. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just burned my PTO on vacay. Well, hey, Tony, that's what you should do with your PTO is take vacations, not sit in front of the computer watching the Blueprint event, teach you how to build systems for your finances. Just get the replays. Just sign up. And we'll send you the replay. So you just do the VIP. It's $97. Don't even be there. I know you got things to do. Your PTA is gone, but then just watch the replays. But you know the best part? So I'm probably going to get, Sean is going to be upset with me if I say this, but sometimes when people buy the VIP tickets and they get the replays, they like it because the replays are time-stamped and everything is categorized. So you can go in and you can literally just, what is that?
Dollar.
Okay. No, show it. You got color then, it's green. Color then in green. And they'd watch the replays, but all the replays are edited, time-stamped. So you can go in and be like, hey, I want that part where it shows me how to build money tax-free. And you can watch that part. Hey, where's that volatility buffer part where I can, make sure that my retirement dollars aren't squandered by volatility, all these different things. Let's see here. Many years running, 10 and 120. All right, so that's FCAT. So Lonester 6865 said, what if you only have, say, $5,000 to start? Is this, oh my God, I started with $240 a month. So Lonester, absolutely. It doesn't matter how much money you have to start. The problem is not starting. That's the problem. That, people are like, oh, I don't know if I have enough money. But the problem isn't that you have enough money. The problem is not getting started. Okay. Another truck. What's this one hauling, Viv? What is that?
Dollar.
It's $1. So again, this is your system driving your money. Okay. It's more efficient because it's just getting a ride. It's not having to do the work. It's not having to walk. It's not having to run. Okay. It's just sitting in the bed of that truck right there. And that truck's driving it around, right, Viv? I love it. All right. What else we got here? You want to show them anything else?
Oh, yeah.
Here. You want this?
Yeah.
Or do you want to draw another picture? You're going to draw another picture? All right. Vivi's going to draw you guys another picture. All right. Paulie. I think I got that right. It's either Paul or Paulie. Paulamel. Let's see. The way you explain it with a crayon for me is why I could understand it. I just opened 3 policies with Hannah, but it's the way you teach it that makes it so simple and that's so convincing. Paul, what you just said means a lot to me because, a lot of times when I was in Wall Street, I realized I would go out and I would talk to people and they would teach us to show them all these really fancy, elaborate proposals, these Morningstar reports. And what I always realized is the people were like kind of appreciative that I put all this time and energy into these fancy reports, but they didn't understand a damn thing I was showing them. How many of you can relate? Your financial advisor comes over, pulls out these things, these graphs, and you're just like, dude, what the frick am I looking at? Sorry, Biff. What the frick am I looking at? Right? I just draw things out. I just make them super simple. Like she's drawing pictures right now, pickup trucks with dollar bills and money in the back. Like that's simple. So appreciate that, Paul. I guess God blessed me with a gift to just take a complicated thing and make it very, very simple. What's that? That's a coin and money, right? All right, you got to put more color to that. Nobody's going to know what that is. You got to make it simple for Paul. Christian said, I started less than that and it's not an investment. Yeah, it's another thing that always irks me. When people start the policies, there's a whole bunch of people in my industry that say, oh, the investment. You got to invest money in the whole life policy. No, you don't.
Yellow.
Whole life insurance is not an investment because it's guaranteed. Do you realize that an investment, by pure definition, must have risk? There must be some element of risk to have it be called an investment. In a whole life insurance policy, is there any element of risk outside of you failing yourself? No, zero. There's no element of risk. Therefore, it's guaranteed. So it is not an investment. Shane, what's going on, buddy? You had an aha moment. I learned from a blueprint session allowing me to legally save over $24,000 of write-offs. I'm reading Shane's stuff, write-offs that I would have never known how to do and ask for. So Shane, you spent $97 to save $24,000. Not a bad ROI on your money. What do you got here, Bev? Show 'em.
If you want an airplane, you're gonna have to buy dollars or coins.
Absolutely. So if you want an airplane, some of these people might be wanting to buy an airplane. So how are they going to have to do that?
You're gonna have to be your own bank.
There you go. So if you want an airplane and you don't want to give all the money to the bank, you're going to have to be your own bank, right? How many of you like her tie? Did you all see her tie? Isn't this cute? This is her Bean tie, right? Mr. Bean. And then she's got the brown jacket. Some of you are old enough to know this. Brown jacket with the white shirt.
It
Mr.
doesn't
Bean.
even fit me. It's a baby one.
It's a baby one, but that's okay. It's brown. Where are your glasses? Oh, here. And Mr. Bean always wore glasses, so Vivi's got glasses as well.
I was going to put a black spot on my face right here, but
Like his little mole. Oh my God! Don't do that. Don't take a marker and write on your face. No. All right, Shane. Thanks for sharing that. FCAT. All right. Lone Stir said, what if I only have a small amount? Oh, sorry, I already got that one. Oh, we went backwards. Vivi, they said it's very impressive, your airplane. It's a really good airplane, isn't it? 2 trucks and an airplane in that short little bit of time. All right. And Shauna said, Blueprint has active strategies too. Kevin Shortell, Noah Harris, a student loan forgiveness person. We got all sorts of people planned. All sorts of people planned for the Blueprint. And again, like I shared it a couple times, but I'll share it one more time. The dates are January 30th to February 1st. It's 3 days. VIP tickets get recordings and a workbook mailed to their house. Let's see. Dexter, what's up, buddy? I'll be watching on the road. So Dexter's going to be trucking along. Thank you for all the time and energy you put behind that wheel to get our goods in service. You got to go fill your car up with gas. You got a traffic jam though, Viv. You got to move the horse and you got to move that Bentley. Who parked that Bentley like that? Shame on them. That's not how you park a Bentley. That's why it's all banged up. Somebody doesn't even know how to drive that thing. All right. Why don't you move the horse and then the Bentley so you can make some room? Bivers. All right. Well, she's going to try to move her car out of the way, and I don't think it's going to go so well. So, see here that even the bear is telling her that she's blocked in. See, you're blocked in. Viv, don't. Okay. That is not. Your car insurance is never going to cover that. Maybe in this state because it's a no-fault state, but you can't just barge your way through other cars. Got lots of time, folks. Lots of time to teach her how to drive without running off other cars off the road. And, Teddy Bear, just as the witness, just saw that happen. All right. We got Damien on here. What's up, Damien? Yeah, it looks like a Bluey kind. Looks like Bluey. She gets a lot of ideas. What about Paddington Bear? Well, this isn't Paddington, but close enough. So we definitely brought the bear along today. So we got the bear, and isn't it cute though? The bear's got a little baby, right? We did a really nice session last time me and Vivi did this where we talked a lot about, it's the things that we do today that our kids are watching. And they, I didn't teach my daughter how to barge through. You guys didn't actually think that was because she watched me do that with my cars, right? Oh gosh, I hope not. Yeah, she did a good job, Mike. Did a really good job.
I walked.
All right.
This Bentley. Look.
Don't hit the wall. Okay, go park the Bentley. Park it exactly where it was. Babe, don't hit the wall. Oh, gosh. You should see her. Man, you should see her. She's got a Jeep now. So we got her a plow truck for Christmas, a Jeep plow truck. She was out the other day. It was 6 degrees out there, and she was plowing the driveway, weren't you?
Daddy, I'll show you something cool.
Okay, don't hit the door. What are you doing? Are you power sliding it? Oh, you are. See, you should learn how to skid the back end out. I'd like to find a way to maximize my account for my future projects and my radio control park. You mean like RC cars, like those parks there where they race them? So we did a whole bunch of stuff. So maybe didn't really get into the fire safety today. Oh, you want them to see that? Oh, little baby bear just popped out of Daddy Bear's hands, or Mommy Bear. Is this Mommy Bear or Daddy Bear?
Daddy.
It's Daddy Bear. Cute. Okay. Go ahead, Viv. Show them. Wow, you're doing power slides and skids. It's like you're drifting your car there, aren't you? All right, one more. One more, and you got to put the Bentley away. Good job, Viv. Good job. All right, the final thing I'm going to say to you folks before me and Vivi get cleaned up and go up there and I let you all get onto your night is this thing, and I wrote it down, so I'm just going to read it because I thought it was good. Stewardship means slowing down enough to build something that supports your value. So we've talked a lot about stewardship tonight, didn't we? That's why Vivi was here. Vivi's getting a skateboard off the wall. But we talked a lot about stewardship. But in order for stewardship to actually matter, you got to slow down. You got to slow down enough so that you can build something that supports your values. What are your values? We go through life so fast, right? We just cruise through the days. We take care of all the essentials. We get stuck in debt. We get all these. No. That one goes on the wall. Those ones don't get ridden on, Viv. Sorry. You have a skateboard out in the garage. But the stewardship, You know, and I love that Paul mentioned that. I guess, you know, my ability to draw like a fifth grader and show, you know, kind of pretty sophisticated financial tools and systems, you know, but ones that my daughter can understand. That's the stewardship, or at least that's what I would view it as, is stewardship. And again, like I said earlier, late doesn't mean you're behind. It means you are being intentional. So you got to build those systems. So I want to say it one more time. Join us. Join us for this Blueprint event. I'll just pop it up there again, January 30th to February 1st. 10 to 3 o'clock every day, 10 to 4 or 4:30 for you VIPers, because we got extra sessions Friday and Saturday. Grab your tickets. What are you waiting for? How you do one thing is how you do everything. Did you delay everything in your life? Did you wait on everything? I know you don't, because none of you are irresponsible with money on here. You're all extremely smart with money. You just need the blueprint. You need the systems so that you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to give as much back. You can do this. You can build it so that no matter how much money you have, how much, meaning more or less, even little amounts of money, you can build your system. The thing is, you got to get started. And to get started, you got to buy your ticket for this event. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to kind of set you free, and we're going to go up and get dinner. I can hear Larissa cooking. I got to fly to New York City tomorrow, so I want to spend some quality time with Viv. Viv, they all want to get going, folks. Or the folks want to get going, Viv. I've been teaching her to call like a group like this, so she'll say folks. Like, I think it's super cute. Do you want to say bye to everybody? Yeah. Okay, come over here and say bye to these folks.
Bye, folks.
Come over and say bye, folks. Get off, don't you dare. You'll get hurt. Only one person needs to run into a tree per day. And I already took care of that for you, okay? Come here. Tell them you said bye.
Bye.
Look at them. You don't talk to people and not say it. No, say it properly. Who are you talking to?
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Okay. Didn't you ask, are the folks on yet earlier? Yeah. Do you want to say goodbye, folks?
Bye, folks.
Look at them. Look them in the eye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Okay. All right. Have fun, folks. All righty. Viver's going to go up, and we're going to watch some Mr. Bean together. Thanks so much for joining me.
We're gonna eat tacos.
Taco time! Woohoo! All right, on that, have a good night.
Where's my